Well, Rod, who will it be? Here is the first item up for bids today. Actual retail price.
He is best known, of course, for hosting The Price is Right for 35 years.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
But there's another role Bob Barker cherishes just as much.
Jessie is shelter dog, of course.
Bob Barker is such a great name for an animal rights spokesman.
It is more than his devotion to Jessie, the abandoned part chow his brother persuaded him to adopt after his old dog had died.
And I said, all right, bring her over. And I've never regretted it.
Bob Barker, now 85, has donated millions for animal protection, including sponsoring programs to spay and neuter animals.
One of the most tragic problems, so far as animals are concerned, in our country, in the world, as a matter of fact, is overpopulation.
How did you get so interested in helping to protect animals?
Well, I've always loved animals, and I always had animals.
He grew up on an Indian reservation in South Dakota, where his mom taught school after Barker's dad died. He married Dorothy Jo Gideon, his high school sweetheart, and after a stint as a Navy pilot, Barker decided to try broadcasting, eventually hosting a show before a live audience.
And my wife was at home, and she heard that first audience participation show. And when I came home, she said, Barker, that's what you should do. She said, you did that better than you've ever done anything else.
In the 1950s, the Barkers moved to L.A., where he hosted another radio program. One day, TV game show impresario Ralph Edwards was listening.
And he liked the way I worked. And he called me, and I went in for an interview with him.
That landed him a job hosting Truth or Consequences.
Remember this name. You're going to be hearing a lot about him. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Barker. Here's Bob.
And in 1972, it was on to The Price is Right.
Bob Barker!
I would start every show looking for someone with whom I could create laughter and have fun.
One of his favorite moments occurred when a young woman wearing a tube top heard her name called to come on down.
And she jumped to her feet, began jumping up and down, and both of them came out of the tube top. She came on down, and they came on out. And I didn't even see it. I was still behind the doors. And when I came out, the audience was screaming. And I thought, they love me, they love me. And then I came to terms with the fact that no audience had ever loved me this much. The lovely Nikki is holding Orson.
As Barker's fame grew, so did his commitment to animals, a passion he shared with his late wife, who died in 1981.
And Orson is looking for a home.
And Barker started ending each show with a plea.
Bob Barker reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Bye, everybody.
It's a practice continued by Barker's successor, Drew Carey.
Folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget to get your pets spayed or neutered. It's the right thing to do. See you next time. Bye-bye.
But Bob Barker ran headfirst into controversy and angered the fur industry when he quit hosting the Miss Universe pageant in 1987 because the sponsors refused to stop giving away fur coats as prizes.
Did you think, oh my gosh, I might be throwing my career to the wind here?
No, my accountant had feelings about it, but I didn't.
In fact, his career flourished. He's got 19 Emmys to prove it.
Did you still get a kick out of it? I mean, by the time you won number 19?
Oh, of course. 19 was just as pleasant as number 1.
But he seems just as proud of the awards he's won for protecting animals.
I received this as a tribute for my work in exposing cruelty to animals, cruelty to chimpanzees. There are those bunnies.
After all, this is a man who has devoted an entire room of his house to his 2 rabbits.
They're very lucky bunnies, huh?
They are lucky bunnies, is right.
So it's no wonder that since Bob Barker decided to retire from The Price is Right last year,
Thank you.
he has never looked back.
I'm busy anyway with animal projects and various other things, and so I'm not sitting around worrying about what am I going to think about in the next hour, you know. I'm having fun doing a lot of things, and I'm a success at retirement.